Good evening and welcome to a rainy Highmark Stadium on the south side of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for USL Soccer, the United Soccer League, presenting the visiting FC Montreal and your hometown Pittsburgh Riverhounds. I'm Matt Geico along with Paul Child and Gene Klein. We'll be providing the play-by-play and the commentary respectively as we have a climate change in Pittsburgh. It's apparently monsoon season in western PA, a very rainy June moving right along, and the excitement of Wednesday night, though, gentlemen, let's discuss that and where the Hounds can go from their U.S. Open Cup loss in extra time to DC United. So many positives that the Riverhounds brought up after that match, even though they lost. But here we are 3 days later, and they've got to get right back to league business.
Well, I think the biggest thing, Matt, was the 4,000 people went home very, very excited and happy to watch the Hounds do as well as they did in that first 90 minutes. And we know this place was rocking. It was a great atmosphere. Hopefully that'll turn it around for the Hounds, and you'll bring back a lot of those fans that didn't realize the atmosphere down here and the excitement that the Riverhounds have been bringing to the city. So I think that was a big plus for them. Obviously they're upset and they didn't get go to the next round, but you know, DC United, MLS team, expected to win when they come here. They've got better quality players and obviously showed it towards the end of the overtime. That's
Paul Child. And Gene Klein, you're looking at Mike Green on the screen right now. The versatile player is starting at forward tonight. Also Max Salute getting his second start of the season. We will also see in the midfield for the Riverhounds in a bit of a change. We'll have Kevin Kerr, Rob Vincent, Max Salute, and Stephen Okai as part of a four-man midfield. So it's going to be a little bit different. Drew Russell is up front. So on that quick turnaround, you see different players getting a chance to show what they can do in some interesting spots.
Yeah, very interesting, Matt. It's
between FC Montreal.
It will, and we'll see. I think just to follow up on what Paul said, not only is it great for it was great atmosphere and connected with a lot of fans, but also I think the team got a lot out of that, and there's certainly their confidence has to be very high after playing very evenly with DC United and at parts controlling the game. And so they're going to come in here confident. And obviously Mark Steffens has made a few lineup changes. Danny Earls is out with a red card. So some great opportunities for Toulouse, for Drew Russell, see what they can do and what change we made. He did go with a 4-4-2 in the DC United game, so it appears he's on the quick turnaround and elected to stay with that 4-4-2 for tonight.
You see Drew Russell on your screen, just missing tying that match in extra time against DC United, the top team in the MLS Eastern Conference. Back in the USL, the Riverhounds are 6th, so right at that playoff cutoff point. The top 6 in each side of the USL make the playoffs. So the Hounds are in a bit of a tenuous spot, but FC Montreal comes in with a record of 1-8-2 against the Riverhounds 4-4-4 mark in league play. So FC Montreal several spots down. They are last in the 12-team Eastern Conference and also the lowest scoring team in USL with just 7 total goals in 11 matches. And on the other side, as Riverhounds fans probably know, the Hounds are the highest scoring team in USL with 27. So, Paul, what do the Hounds have to do to assert themselves offensively against the team that's had some trouble keeping up in terms of the attack this year?
Well, I'm sure that Mark's let them know right away that this team's been struggling, especially on the road as well. You've got to jump all over them as quick as you can, set the tone, and really put some pressure on them, which they kind of did the other night, Wednesday, against DC United, and made them really panic and have a hard time. And we've got some real slick conditions here, so you look for them to put them under pressure, maybe get a missed kick, bad pass, intercept it, get a chance on goal. So I'm thinking he's going to high pressure right away at the beginning of the game.
More on the run-up to this match. Montreal and Pittsburgh getting together on the soccer pitch after the national anthem.
Land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land. what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great job, Ariel. And
Just moments away from kickoff, FC Montreal and Pittsburgh getting together for the first time ever. These two teams will also have a rematch in Montreal on July the 12th. Let's get to the Riverhounds starting 11. In goal, once again, it will be the rookie from the University of Virginia, Callie Brown, getting the start. On the back line, Willie Hunt, longtime pro veteran, has played in every game so far. Sterling Flunder gets back-to-back starts after his U.S. Open Cup action on Wednesday. Anthony Arena, last year's Riverhounds Defensive Player of the Year, once again in the central part of the back line. And the fourth defender, Fujiro Okiyama, good to have him back in action against DC United, where he used his big frame. In the midfield, the familiar face, Kevin Kerr, 5 goals, 5 assists. He's played in every minute of every game so far. Rob Vincent has also played in every game, and he is your league's leading scorer with 9 goals, the man from Liverpool. Max Salutes, just his second start of the season. He also had one out in St. Louis very early on, so he gets an opportunity. Stephen Okai, once again, in the midfield, usually in a holding role. We'll see where Mark Steffens has him employed this evening. And 2 forwards, the 4-4-2 for the Riverhounds this evening yet again. It is Drew Russell, the second-year pro, and Mike Green, the versatile one. He has played essentially every position except keeper for the Riverhounds this season. Gene, what does the 4-4-2 change for the Hounds? We've seen it in back-to-back games now at least, and sometimes it can just be a different way to say the same formation because things change during a match. But why do you think the 4-4-2 is what Steffens is going with tonight?
I think it just provides better balance all around throughout the team. I mean, you have your solid back four and you have the 2 blocks of 4 in front of each other. I think the other thing is sometimes what we have seen a little bit, if the wingers don't get forward enough, oftentimes whether it was Miro Trebrillo or maybe a Vinny Dantas, they got isolated up top and they didn't have that immediate support. And so perhaps Coach Steffens is looking for another player up there to provide support for that player, but also another passing lane for the midfielders to find, another entry ball that they can find with that second striker. And Paul, also, because the Hounds like to press up higher, they can maybe get that going a little bit earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's what's important. You got 2 guys up front, and it really takes a lot less energy when you've got 2 chasing down. You know, when players are knocking the ball around the back, trying to put them under pressure to make them not get good passes, make it difficult for them to get it out the back. So that should help them as well with 2 players up front.
You've met the Hounds starting 11. We'll get you the FC Montreal starters in just a bit. But for now, we are underway from a very soggy Highmark Stadium. It was a very steady downpour as of about an hour ago, but it's lightened somewhat, and fans are starting to stream in as a very errant shot is launched from the right flank by Montreal. For FC Montreal, in the Montreal Impact system, Impact now in MLS, of course, they are coached by Philip Eulafroy, also the Impact Academy director. He was an assistant with the MLS club for the past 2 seasons. In goal will be Maxim Crepeau. This is his 8th straight start. He's on a 4-year contract with the MLS club, but playing here in USL so far this season as it's worked on back to Crépeau's feet. Defending, Frank Zouet, Janouk Charbonneau, as the ball's out into touch on the near side, Shakib Ossine, and Malay Temguia. In the midfield, Nazim Belgandouz, along with Mastanabal Kacher and Jeremy Gagnon-Lapere. And up front, Victor Dié, in addition to Frédéric Lajoie-Gravel and Fabio Morelli. And I'm going to take a break now, if you guys are okay with
Matt,
that.
we're impressed that C- in French, high school French, got you through that lineup.
Brilliant, Matt.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
But
Good stuff.
yeah,
They are fun to say, I will say. It's a very lyrical language, and I enjoy that part of it very much, as the Hounds will work it from the left side. As you could probably gather from that, the majority of the players on FC Montreal's roster, and they've had 30 play at least one match, are from Quebec. A couple of Swiss nationals also on the team. We'll get you some more of those little tidbits as we work our way through 90 minutes.
looking for a long throw here. It looks like
It's Mike Green doing it once again.
Yeah.
nice flick on. Oh, didn't quite catch it.
As Russell leaped up.
It's going to be real interesting how the Hounds come out, I think, this evening. This is the proverbial trap game, isn't it? I mean, you're coming off
No doubt.
an enormous high with DC United, an unbelievable atmosphere, very, very close to bumping off the league leaders in MLS, and now we're coming back here. It's rainy, it's soggy, it's the crowd is greatly diminished, and of course Montreal, they have nothing to lose. I mean, they have one win, they've only scored 7 goals. You got to think that they're just looking for some progress and saying, can we knock these guys off? So the Hounds have to come out with some energy. They have to come out playing really, I think, very quickly, don't you think, Paul? I mean, they have to get the ball moving as fast as they can. They can't be complacent and allow Montreal to get into the game.
Yeah, that's like there. We were a little bit casual with the ball there, and it should have been a quick, sharp combination on the edge of the box, and Green just didn't get it out wide. We had some bodies around him, but he couldn't get it off.
Oh, Guillaume sending one deep and headed right in on the keeper by Ossine. And that's where Maxime Crépeau handles it. He has a 1.43 goals against average this season, 1-4-2 record. But he does have 2 clean sheets, including a 0-0 draw at Richmond last Saturday. That was Montreal, FC Montreal's, I should say, first road result of the year. The visitors are 0-3-1, so no wins away from Quebec. But very, very promising effort for them, I would imagine, last week. And their lone victory came against the Charleston Battery, so they have beaten one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
Well, it shows they're capable. It depends probably on who the lineup is and what they have, and so you just never know with some of these MLS reserve teams.
No, because you've got such a depth. I mean, like we said, there's 30 guys on the roster, and they probably use 30 guys throughout the season. So it's difficult to get an understanding with the players next to you, whether it's a defender, forward, midfielder. You need to play to get that chemistry. So it's been difficult, but it sounds like they've really got it together, especially tying down in Richmond. As you know, it's very, very difficult to play down there. So
that's where the Riverhounds earned their first road victory of the year a couple of weeks ago. Here's Sterling Flunder. I mentioned in the opening lineup sequence that he played nearly a full 90. Well, I guess it was 120 against DC United, but he was subbed late in the second half. Was Flunder, the USL's all-time leader in minutes played, back in the lineup and giving the Hounds some stability defensively. Tyler Pasher, who had been playing that left back spot, is available off the bench as he was against DC.
And again, I think Mark Steffen's looking for some of that stability. He wants him. Sterling is a very dependable veteran player. You know what you're going to get out there with him. He's safe. He's smart. He can also go forward, as we're seeing here.
There he comes, receiving this feed from Kevin Kerr. But his cross is off, and I thought it was off a Montreal foot, but not according to the assistant referee on the near side. Our head referee is Charles Murphy, a familiar face here at Highmark Stadium. John Safari and Jimmy Brooks are the assistants. The fourth is Eric Proctor at the table.
And Paul, looks like Montreal's pretty much in a 4-3-3, and so it's going to be interesting how the Hounds adapt to that, which might have been the reasons why Mark went with Sterling.
Yeah.
Kerr on the move, has a go, and Crépeau grabs it for his first save.
Actually, Kerr did well there. I noticed the keeper was way out, close to the penalty spot. I think if Kerr had chipped that, he'd have probably got a better shot off instead of driving it.
Okioma lines it up the near wing. That's where Willie Hunt cleans it up, knocks it further, but right into the path of Tim Guia as we got a second look at that save from Crepeau. FC Montreal has employed 4 keepers, although the Riverhounds have 2, counting Matt Lampson, the loanee from Columbus Crew. I didn't mention him on Wednesday, but he played for the Hounds, all 90 against the Charlotte Independents. And the Independents, the expansion team, are the only USL side to move through to the round of 16 in U.S. Open Cup. Here's Kelly Brown snagging this one.
With the ex-Riverhound keeper Hunter Gilstrap in the nets for that one, for Charlotte Independence.
They defeated the New England Revolution 1-0, did the Independents.
Well, we wish him good luck, and hopefully a USL team can get all the way.
And
a mishandle here. Kelly Brown nearly made a catastrophic error in the 7th minute, but fortunately for him, he was in the area to slide back and block that shot, or no, they ruled that it was cleanly fired over the byline by the Montreal forward.
Yeah, I thought he got a piece of that one also, Matt.
This is where you have difficulty when this ground is so slick. I'd like to see this because, again, you can see a misjudgment or thought he had control and it spun and took off on him and got further away from him than he wanted it to. So that's what you got to try and capitalize on, putting some pressure on.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball from Flint. Oh, here's a good ball.
It's on through to Kevin Kerr. Oh, it was deflected and over the crossbar it goes. A terrific closing play by the defender on the near side, Oseen.
I wish he could have got that off quicker, Gino. It looked like if he could have got the shot off quicker, he had a much better chance. And then the defender got back and got a foot in front
But
of
again,
him.
I wonder how the surface plays with this ball. Watch
It is really skidding out there.
Skidding, and he just seemed like he couldn't quite catch up with it, you know?
It was pouring for quite a bit of time. Short corner, Kerr over the bar.
Well, that was well done. I mean, you know, they drew that one up in the
We've seen that a few
whiteboard.
times lately too, Gino, and we saw it at DC game as well, and he got a shot on goal, that one, and the keeper saved it. But that's a nice play. He comes across late, and Vincent dummied it, and he just runs right onto it. All he's got to really do is try and keep that down low.
Every time they've called that play, it has been Kerr, the man leaned on to drill that shot from the 18, and that I think was his best look out of the 3 times I want to say they've tried that. It has been effective. Teams don't appear to be ready for it.
And the other thing too, you can tell here, you know, Montreal has some good technical players, but they just, I know it's early in the match, but they just don't seem to be all on the same page there with that chemistry, like some enormous gaps in the back already we're seeing.
Yep.
And those gaps the Hounds have been capable of exploiting all year long. I told you the highest scoring team in USL. They are no longer the team that has allowed the most goals, too, so that's some progress defensively. They have given up 23. Montreal's defensive record not terrible at 18 allowed in 11 matches. We told you about them shutting out the Richmond Kickers last week down at City Stadium. Ball at his feet, Charbonneau knocks it straight up the field, but Anthony Arena got ahead to it. Okai, Kerr, and Russell, a beautiful touch to open space.
Oh.
Sliding tackle by Zoué, and that sends Russell flying across the pitch, but he appears to be okay as Willie Hunt will handle the throw-in.
The one extra thing that we have yet to mention is that I think in addition to the changes to Lute and Russell, Lute goes wide and Robbie Vincent appears to be in the center with Stephen Okai, which he's played there plenty of times, almost all the time the last couple of years. But for most of the year this year under Mark Steffens, he and Kevin Kerr have been out in the flank. But it's not a big big adjustment for Robbie Vincent.
No, not at all. And again, you can always see him looking up for that long wide ball as well for Kerr when he gets that opportunity.
Yeah.
Again, Danny Earle's out because of a red card for an intentional handball. Thwarting a scoring chance would have been a sure goal for Independence last Saturday. That's why he isn't playing. The first Hound to get a red card this season. Willie Hunt's cross goes too far for Max Salute, but, well, great hustle to at least try to keep it in. He ends up almost halfway tumbling over the protective bar there, just outside the touch line, but he's back into play. And Lebo Maloto, that strained hamstring, is holding him out for at least another game tonight. The Riverhounds will hope to have their playmaking South African midfielder back ready for next week at the league-leading Rochester Rhinos.
And you hope when Lebo comes back, he picks up where he was, because he really seemed to be playing very, very strong the last couple of games. And after a few matches where he was struggling, and he seems to have picked it up significantly. And I hope he's back at that level, Paul.
Yeah, that's the biggest. That's a shame when he had to take off these last 2 or 3 games, because that kind of like could put you a step behind you. So hopefully he can come back at full pace and gets a good break early on in that game, so he gets some confidence straight away as well.
The Riverhounds with Vincent a bit deeper in the midfield than usual this season, exchanging with Stephen Okai, who's always back holding. Vincent with the ball at his feet. The Riverhounds, the only team in USL yet to record a clean sheet too, so that's another thing they've been focusing on. They've gotten 2 in US Open Cup, but as far as league opponents go, that still is uncharted territory. Ball in the midfield as it's chested down by Victor Da. The ball rolls through Gagnon Lapere and taken by Touloute. The speedy one from Haiti all the way in, but the ball skipped too far ahead for him to control, and Crepeau out to snatch it.
Yeah, that's going to happen all night with this wet weather. You're going to get these chances where you can get away, and hopefully, see if you get the right bounce, it can really help you. You can see here.
Yeah, and he goes right by the center back. And I have to think another reason they're going with 2 up top is they've watched some tape on Montreal, and they're not dropping off very well, Paul.
No,
I mean, our guys, we're running through, and no one seems to be tracking those particular guys. We've had a couple times very, very close to getting in and getting the goal. Yeah.
Callie Brown puts that one into the river under some light pressure. Better than conceding a corner kick, though. Here's Cacher to the middle, and Fabio Morelli, who had that opportunity when Brown mishandled the ball played back to him by Sterling Flunder. Fabio Morelli, native of Switzerland. Here is Montreal, and Willie Hunt heading off a pass to the left wing. That was seeking out Morelli, that man again. Kevin Kerr, ball out of play, throw in for the visitors.
Paul, so far, the one, as we talked earlier on the show with Drew Russell and Mike Green up top, they would have a few more options up high, and they haven't found their feet yet. We're going to have to do a better job of looking at them, finding their feet, and getting some support off.
Either helping each other.
There's no real depth,
But do some, diagonal runs past each other.
There's no, we're just sort of looking for it over their heads right now and turning and going. And, arguably they've had a couple chances, but I'd like to see a little bit more of them combining with Russell and Green.
Yep.
Drew Russell, the former Charlotte Eagle, charging up, and his square pass to Green was a little behind him. And so back comes Montreal with it, but Sterling Flunder defending well, and the Riverhounds with possession, albeit briefly. Overtaken was Stephen Okai at the midfield circle, and it's Victor Da. Da had it poked away, and Hounds get the throw.
Got a little touch on that one to help break it up there, Gino, after losing the ball.
Well, as we were worried about at the start, you can see the Hounds are really struggling a little bit. They don't have the same rhythm, the speed of play that they had on Wednesday. And they're trying to find that tempo, find that right rhythm, find the connections. As you mentioned, Paul, not the movement off the ball that we were seeing on Wednesday. So it might take a while for them to get into it.
Touloute, Russell's open, and he can't gather it. In the area, Drew Russell. Great ball from Touloute.
I'd like to see that again, because I thought Drew should have got that one. If he'd just got a touch on it, he would have had. There wasn't anybody close within 10 yards.
No, good ball from Touloute here.
Yeah.
And again, it's these diagonal balls have been on, and we're going right by their back four. They're not really.
Yeah. They're flat, aren't they?
They're very flat. They're not dropping off when a player's head comes up to make that service, and Riverhounds are exploiting it. But I think at the same time, if they're just knocking those balls up, it's that's going to make for a very sloppy game.
Yep.
And speaking of sloppy, the rain is coming down harder once again. It's going to be a wet evening throughout, we would expect, looking at the radar map. Not a lot of open areas in terms of this storm moving through. Have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news and live stats, and check out the new social media hub. That's USLsoccer.com, including the live scoreboard on match nights. Always very helpful to keep track. On the USL table, the Riverhounds are 6th, as I mentioned, as out rushes Callie Brown to pick it up on 3 hops. Right there with the Riverhounds, Harrisburg City, and New York Red Bulls, too. All 3 of those teams are knotted at 16 points, and St. Louis FC at 14. So 2 of those teams are in, Pittsburgh and Harrisburg, and 2 are out, Red Bulls and St. Louis. It's tight as Kerr volleys one into the Steel Army.
I think Kerr was having a vision there or something. That was
ambitious.
Not a ball to hit. You could see when he came off the turf, it went way high, and you knew when he was thinking, I'm going to take a shot here. It nearly hit the Steel Army sign.
It's a bit more sparse in the Steel Army than it was on Wednesday night, and I would just like to say thanks to everyone who showed up here at Highmark Stadium, making it a terrific atmosphere for soccer. Meanwhile, one of the Hounds is down. Is that Toulouse?
I think it is. Yep.
Yes, the Hounds number 4 was smacking the turf, upset, but he is up on his feet and attempting at least to get back into position. Hunt jams it up the near touchline, but that's where it's taken over by Zouet. Frank Zouet, and out of the middle, it's the Montreal captain, Belganduz, unloading on one that sailed high.
It was a long way out, too.
Yeah, the one thing with it, the 3 up front is just making very difficult. We're trying to build with Willie Hunt and Sterling Flunder, and it's been very difficult for him because they're under pressure right away, Paul. Like we saw Willie Hunt right away is under pressure. Just, can't really have time to on the ball to find somebody, and so they're going to have to be a little quicker with that and get some better angles to try to find some and play through the midfield.
Definitely.
Some head tennis at midfield, as Paul Child likes to call it, and it's out for a Montreal throw. Frank Zouet, one more time.
That's because he was the champion of head tennis.
He used to hang up by the net and score all the time. The tennis net, that was.
Deep ball, Belganduz, and too far down the sideline for La Joie Gravel.
Yeah, I'd like to say about the Steel Army last Wednesday, they were
It was super.
making a tremendous amount of impact on the players, and did a great job. And obviously they're still recuperating from Wednesday night because tonight they couldn't get out here,
Yeah, right.
Hard to blame them. It was a landmark night for the Hounds franchise to welcome DC United in.
And that's why this is such a tough game tonight, because it's a quick turnaround, and from spectators to players, it's a totally different atmosphere. And they're going up against the team with the fewest points in the league. They know that, and it's a little bit tougher. They have to really push themselves a little bit harder mentally to get through it, and I believe they will. It's just going to take a while for them to get in that rhythm.
I believe that's our first foul call 20 minutes in, so that tells you about the nature of this game.
Yeah, there's not the bite into it was on
No.
Wednesday.
And the other thing you've got to remember as well, it's been just a couple of days turnover for the Hounds, and Montreal didn't play, so they've had to practice all week and relax and kind of organize themselves coming in here. So
Third match in 8 days for the Riverhounds, including that long travel down to Charlotte too. So not making excuses, but it is difficult, and that's something you have to overcome as a team. Corner kick for the Hounds, and the Montreal defender on the near side protesting Temguia. Mele Temguia thought he had shielded off Mike Green, and the ball was off Green last, but he was mistaken, according to the assistant referee. So corner kick number 2 for the Riverhounds. The first one led to a golden chance for Kerr.
hopefully we can get that again, Matt. They need something to spark them here, Gino, and this will be it.
Vincent, more traditional corner kick toward the back post. Arena was in the area, and there's Kerr belting one well offline.
Came off a player there.
Yes,
and
it is off
kick again.
FC Montreal leg.
This is where they're going to miss, well, not so much from this side, but on the other side, missing Danny Earls with that left foot and those dangerous left-footed swingers that he can hit, So it takes a little bit of an option away from us. But like you had mentioned, Matt, these are, a lot of games and a lot of days, but that's the struggles of the USL, and that's why this is such an important test for the Riverhounds.
If they want to be a playoff team, you have to succeed when you don't have your best. A back post ball, and Willie Hunt wanted a foul call. He is not going to get it, obviously, but he has a few words for Charles Murphy, the man in charge, as he fell back, attempting to get his forehead to the ball. And a fairly good cross, I thought. Yes, he was being held on to. More than held on to.
Dear.
He was being tied up and lassoed. That was like the rodeo.
Harry missed. Harry couldn't call that one.
I think that guy didn't get the memo. You exchange shirts after the game.
That was Jeremy Gagnon Lapere all over Willie Hunt. And to no avail for the Riverhounds. So they'll have to continue to work to create their first really good look of this contest. Kevin Kerr, his pass was broken up by Temguia, but Pittsburgh maintains possession. Here is Max Salute trying to go 1v1 and break down the defense, and he appears to earn another corner. No, he does not. It's a goal kick. It's ruled to be off of Talute's foot last.
Boy.
Okay, then.
Two bad calls by the referee, I think. I'm just guessing there because he definitely hit the Montreal foot.
And I don't know if he's relying on his assistant referee there for that one, or he made it completely on the...
You never see Mark usually get up and talk to the fourth official, and obviously he's not happy with a couple of the calls.
Right.
Mark Steffens, his 19th season in the USL. Former Coach of the Year, former champion, many-time finalist with his Charlotte Eagles. Charlotte self-relegating, and then the Charlotte Independence franchise came into being this year. Quite a few new clubs in USL, which was formerly known as USL Pro. This FC Montreal team is one of them. One of the MLS reserve squads. I like that they gave them their own name as opposed to New York Red Bulls 2 or Toronto FC 2. At least it's a little bit different. Some creativity involved, at least here, as Nazim Belgadouz wins the ball, but the Hounds take it right back inside the touchline. Hunt spinning around and giving it up. Zoué. Morelli tripped up, but advantage ruled. Here's Flunder taking care of the back line for the Hounds. But back to the midfield stripe, and another offensive thrust for Montreal. It is a good one. Into the box for Morelli, turning against Okioma, but couldn't cross it in play. Goal kick Pittsburgh.
Not too many chances as yet, really, other than the corner kicks.
They got that entry pass there, which was a good run, but I was just observing, watching our back four the last couple dimes down, and they are very solid across, very well connected. They're stepping up together. They're dropping off well together. Paul, we talked early on, really, Okioma and Arena, that's a nice center-back pairing.
Yeah, it is, and need to get that back together again, Gino, because they lost that where Okioma was injured.
And Sterling, we saw him drop off there early and play and make that play. He's always in the right spot.
Yeah.
The Gateway Clipper Queen rides on by on the Monongahela River. If you're watching from Montreal, yes, that is one of the three rivers right behind the field. Part of what makes this setting special. Highmark Stadium. Third year for this facility. Third year here for this Hounds franchise. It's Vincent. 9 goals on the year. Leads the league in goals per game, points, and points per game. He's got it all right now for this high-octane Riverhounds outfit.
Look for this switch coming now. He's not really looking this way, but he will do now for Kerr. As I
There's
thought
the signature diagonal ball. Kevin Kerr has an edge. Fires and just missed the far post. Kevin Kerr, the Scotsman, lining it up. nearly knocking it down for his 6th goal of the season.
I'm like Kevin Kerr. I can see Kevin looking at him, and Vincent was trying to work his way and getting it onto his right foot, because he does this great ball that he switches play, catches Kerr perfectly. Just didn't get enough on it with the outside of his foot to get him to bend back in.
Bend right in there. Right.
Tried to slice it.
He struck it well. Just tough angle. Keeper had it covered a little bit.
Sure.
And like you said, the only way he's going to get that in if he gets a little bit of bend on it.
And spin on the outside.
From the outside, yeah.
A handful of scoreless games in a row for Kerr, who was last seen scoring a goal against Harrisburg City, the winner in that 6-5 madness at Highmark Stadium 3 weeks ago tonight. Foul whistled on FC Montreal. A bit too anxious upfield were the visitors, and the Hounds will send yet another diagonal ball. This one was in the direction of Max Toulouse on left wing, but it's broken up. Fabio Morelli all the way near the touchline. Plays it square. La Joie Gravel, number 67. Beautiful job there on the help defending by Vincent. Liverpool native sought out Mike Green instead of throwing his one. So yes, things a little bit slower than they were on Wednesday, and there's some more room in that Montreal defending third that it seems like the Hounds can take advantage of.
Yeah, they're still not really doing that, Matt. They're still kind of like wanting the ball right to their feet. They're not making diagonal runs, trying to get the ball into an open space. The only one we've seen do that is Kerr when Vincent gets the ball, and
that's part of that special chemistry that those two have.
Oh yeah.
But we need a little bit more
from everybody, don't we?
And, right now it's very, very slow out of the back, which is going to allow Montreal to sit and stay organized.
And Vincent,
because that 4-3-3 becomes really a 4-5-1. So it's
balls collected by Belganduz. Toulouse forcing the issue, but he's whistled, and he's being called over by Charles Murphy as well. On the ground, Frank Zouet. Just a chat with Murphy for Max Toulouse, who was saying that he didn't intend to get his spikes up there.
I don't think he was intentionally trying to kick him. He was trying to get a touch on the ball, just
maybe
to beat him. And the guy got his
reckless play, I guess, is what was whistled. But we do have a.
This is quite a ways back. Here it is, I think.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, he caught him a little bit on the leg, I'm sure, but like you said, just going forward.
Boy, that could be dangerous.
Hammers that one, and that shows you just how different this surface is when it gets a little bit wet. That one took off on the first bounce.
Yeah, very difficult to get those under control, and they shoot off so quick. I mean, obviously you're trying to adapt to it, and you're trying to read that situation, but sometimes
oh my God,
it was flying.
They got these little guys over there behind the goal. I thought he was going to run right into Callie Brown.
The ball kids getting a little maybe too close to the action.
Yeah.
Belganduz, Vincent for Pittsburgh.
That's a nice little combination.
First time touch is a good one for Drew Russell. And it's Rob Vincent in open space. Wanted to line up the right footer. Now a left foot pass back to Vincent and a save. Crapo got in the way of another rifle shot from Rob Vincent.
It's another, again, Paul, anytime he has a clean look, it's a clean strike on target.
I know, he's not missing the target, and, obviously it was a little bit too direct to the keeper, but just the keeper just trying to get a hand on it, you get a rebound or anything, but he's perfect.
Like today, that's
Look at this. This is
nice little touch from Greeny and just a terrific strike.
That wasn't even really a half chance, it didn't look like, and nearly a goal.
Yeah.
That's what
keeper,
a big
that's
foot
all
can
you
do.
can do on that one. I mean, you're not going to try and hold on to that rocket.
Callie Brown does hold on to this one. Callie looked a little bit nervous in the early going against DC United. Nearly had a whiff of a clearance attempt come back to bite him, but United hit the post. Settled down from there after the opening minutes. Here's a cross. Russell, a soft touch and away from Mike Green. That forces the Hounds to reset it. Look at that back heel. Airborne by Kerr. Russell to Kerr as the circus comes to town briefly, but nothing generated.
I was waiting for Kerr to draw that PK there a little bit, almost in an identical position that he was
get his body
DC
in front
United,
of the play.
where he drew a PK.
Lajoie Gravel navigating through, and his header is to an open winger. Dealt on back. Oseen, as the Montreal backline gets a few rare touches. Frank Zouet up into the attack a bit. Overwhelmed by Kerr, nearly gave it up, but Brown stepped to and kept Morelli from intercepting. And back come the Hounds. It is Russell right across the face of goal with that volley. Still in play. Green held it. It's Max Salute. The rookie Salute to Flunder, and the Hounds now building up possession and switching it to the near wing again. It's Fujiro Okihoma. Stutter step, and now by his mark, that was Belgandu's. It's Kerr, too far, and out for the goal kick.
You know, it's good to see the Hounds maintain possession, but Green got that ball. I think that Montreal was completely disorganized at that point. They were spread out. They had two defenders back on a 6. They had a couple there was all kinds of space, and we elected to go all the way back, which again, nobody's finding those little pockets, Paul, in front of there. And they should be on, you know, and I'm sure the coaches are seeing the same thing.
Hunt the header to Kerr. Okai, native of Ghana, to Drew Russell. Some open field. He hits Salute. Lets it go through. Sterling Flunder stepping up.
Green's open.
Little hitch in his stride, and he drives one low, electing to pump it on the frame. And there's Crapo down to both knees, absorbing it.
That was a good one, actually, by Flunder. That's what you got to do. Is you got to hit it hard and low, let it skip off the surface if you can. Obviously, the keeper did well.
There are all kinds of openings in Montreal's back four. I mean, right now it looks porous to me. I mean, they have a number of openings in the Hounds. Once they start sorting this out and picking up their energy level a little bit and getting some movement off the ball, as we've been saying, I mean, they're going to be able to pick these guys apart. I mean, Kevin Kerr has been wide open here in the right flank. When they have time, they can find them, but so's everybody else. I mean, look at their shape now, Paul.
Yes, really.
I mean, it's, you know, almost looks like they're playing a 2-6-2 or something. You know, they're really no connection whatsoever.
This referee never called that again. Somebody wrapped a wrestling hold on him, and
play moves on, but the Hounds get a nice bounce. And Vincent is, speaking of a wrestling move, and, well, that's understandable. Some frustration from Rob Vincent as he was absolutely tackled. That was a football tackle. The other kind of football, that is.
This is the guy that did the shirt pulling and wrestling move in the penalty area earlier.
Yeah, Lajoie Gravel.
This is...
Oh, my God.
It's Gagnon Lapare, and he ends up on top of
and then
Vincent.
He wants to go right off into the sunset.
Or as we say in Pittsburgh, Gagnon Lapierre. You know, I think there was a wrestler by the name of Gagnon.
Well, the yellow card has been issued to Montreal's number 28 here in the 34th minute. And beyond all that, a dangerous free kick coming up potentially for the Hounds.
And Vincent could really make this work for him and put it in the back of the net. It would be sending a message right away. Don't be doing that to me on that edge of the box.
Absolutely. I mean, he's the guy that you want taking this strike, and he can punish him for that foul.
He can, and as I said, hopefully he can hit it hard and low. It looks like he's going to go for that far post, though, Gino. It does right now.
Right off of Kevin Kerr.
He has 9 goals,
that's
and
where he went, Paul.
That's exactly what he was doing. And it's deflected out for the corner. And Vincent will also do the honors here. 4th corner for the Hounds, none for Montreal. Really not many chances to speak of for the visiting team outside of that early near blunder from the keeper Brown that set up Morelli, but the Hounds have been all over Montreal lately. Back post corner and poked away by the gang in blue. And Morelli on the run, but he's not going to be able to get there in time to take it away from Brown. The 6'5" keeper, Callie Brown, the MVP of the 2014 NCAA College Cup as his Cavaliers took home the Division I championship. Here's his play up the center of the field. Russell won the aerial duel.
Also got a good flick on there, but again, people, long way from him. He's all on his own out there, Gina.
Yeah.
Morelli tumbled into the camera stand.
Oh,
There's a good volley from Okai to Kerr, using that body very well to fend off a man, and he chipped it near post. I think he may have been trying to catch Crepeau off his line.
I think he was trying. The keeper was off his line, anticipating a rollback, and Kevin tried to, I think, loft it over them the last second.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to cut it back.
He was going to cut it back. He took a look, and then he sees him, and the keeper does well there to react and
one-handed save.
Recover from that with a one-handed save. But Kerr, what we've seen him do so many times, is expert with his body, isn't he, Paul?
He is very good. He gets himself in great positions and gets in front of players some way, somehow, to get on the end of stuff.
Crepeau punched out that back spinning corner from Vincent. Hounds still with a chance.
Again.
Vincent falls down, and the rebound comes right to Arena, but it wouldn't have counted anyway, as the foul had been called against Vincent, I believe.
I'll tell you what, Paul, if I'm Mark Steffens at halftime, I think we're emphasizing second balls back in,
Follow
because Montreal, when they do have a clearance, a couple guys are staying back. They are not coming out collectively, and you have a couple guys here, and there's spaces all over the place.
Really?
And so, as opposed to a knockdown coming back, they're playing it back in, taking their time. Put that thing right back into the mixer.
Yeah, definitely to cause problems.
Crepeau knocks it long. And again, the Riverhounds get that call on the touchline. It's Hunt.
It's really coming down now, huh? Wow.
Not quite as bad as it was in the pregame warm-up, but we're getting there. It is approaching that level of intensity. And this field is already rather soggy. It is the artificial surface. They do have the drainage underneath, but can only hold so much water. Russell flicking. Green doing likewise to Kerr and
job,
Russell.
Ball.
It checks up inside the line for Russell. Left-footed cross too high for Green, who had charged into the bit of empty space between the edge of the 18 and the start of the 6-yard box. Crepeau flagged it down. 38th minute already. No score in this one.
I think we've had a lot of the play too, though, Matt, right now, Gino. I think we've been up in Montreal's end a good part of the last 10-15 minutes and creating chances. Montreal really haven't had a shot on goal.
No, we're getting closer. They're starting to pick it up. They're starting to figure things out a little bit. They're starting to figure out what tempo they're going to need to go against this, and I think they're starting to see some of the openings that Montreal is offering.
Yep.
Montreal, just a couple of shots to its credit, but they're working on that now. Janouk Charbonneau. Gagnon Lapere.
2 balls on the field.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while.
Just sitting there. Looks like that'll be Frank Zouet taking care of it. Out for a throw. The ball that was in play, that is, was out for a throw. A little bit of confusion.
Yeah, I only see one little ball boy over there in the whole far side, and so he's doing a lot of work, and he can't get up and down. So it's not his fault. It seems like we only have one guy there.
Fabio Morelli was also working hard, but he was triple teamed by Hounds and didn't really have much help. He was on an island, and that gives the home team possession once again. Thank you for watching tonight on YouTube. USL regular season and playoff games, all of them, in fact, are available live, free, and in beautiful high definition on YouTube. Connect with the USL YouTube channel today. That's youtube.com/USL. And thanks to Chris DeVivo and John Powell and the entire technical crew here for putting on a wonderful show once again. I had many compliments thrown my way about the quality of the broadcast, and I just passed them right to John Powell and Chris DeVivo, who kept us on the air, kept things going. Anthony Arena, with some help from Flunder. There's Arena volleying it out of trouble. And a whistle and a foul as Green goes down.
He was all over the back of Green.
Yeah, our same guy again.
Same guy, different move, but same guy.
Vincent sprays it out wide to Arena. Doubling on back is Anthony Arena, former Houston Dynamo property, now belonging exclusively to the Hounds. Here's Okioma, last year with the Charlotte Eagles. Stephen Okai to Vincent. And the third-year Hound sends it long. Kerr stepped right in front of Zoué. Couldn't control it, but now Max Salute on the 50-50 ball to Hunt. One cross was blocked, gets it right back. His second cross also rejected. But he gets the throw in as we move toward the 42nd minute of the opening half. No goals scored yet. The Hounds with the better opportunities, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard.
Looked like they're going for a long throw again. Green
Yeah,
being
Mike Green can ping it in, and obviously look for Russell on the flick. Russell's on the near post. He likes to come off from that spot. Or we can see Okioma. Either one of them will look for a flick there.
Yeah, definitely looking for a flick on, I'm sure, at the 6-yard.
Charles Murphy wants to have a talk with Okioma
And
in a
comes
battle
Russell.
there in
There's Russell
front.
coming off.
The throw bounces. It's in the clear for a moment, but nodded away by Montreal, and back they come. Morelli, again, out there by himself.
Yeah,
Won it briefly, and there was really no help again.
Yeah, didn't get a very good touch on the ball. Obviously, it was really high, and he gave it away. And lucky for the Hounds, there was 2 or 3 players tracking back.
Kelly Brown belts it about 70 yards. Here's Talute. After the regather, Talute tries again, and it's off a Montreal body. To the foot of Belgandus. He crumples down in a heap. Play moving along without him. Kevin Kerr.
That's a good ball.
Upfield.
And again,
Soft feed to Russell.
Montreal very disconnected. Let's take advantage of it early.
Russell's cross not great, but Green gathers in the loose change. Sterling Flunder running on. And Talute. Max Talute all the way back. Arena holds it in the middle third of the field with the outer edge of his right boot. Okai gathering, assessing his options. It's over to Talute, and that's ruled to be out into touch. So an unforced error by the Riverhounds.
Yeah, the Riverhounds there, Gino, doing the,
Very slow with it, weren't they? I mean,
yeah, he just kind of like went around.
Tough. Yeah, I mean, tough surface, but Stephen Okai fighting a little bit when he had some openings to look forward. If he, so I think again, I mean, making it easier for Montreal.
Yeah,
that
really,
way.
because we're doing the scenic route, actually.
Yeah.
It was kind of like them going around the whole field just to start again. But and like you said, there's so many gaps in there. There's an opportunity. Somebody's got to take charge of it, Gino, and go, boom, take off through it.
I mean, every time Montreal comes out, they have players all over the place. And if we win possession off that, the counterattack is just wide open.
Definitely.
Mustanabel Kasher threw it in. It's off a Riverhound, but right to LaJoie Gravel. Can't get through the picket fence set up by the gold-clad Hounds, and out it goes, deflected off a Montreal
here's
foot.
again, we got to make a quick call because they're so slow getting back, and look at the big gaps in between them.
Yeah.
But the Hounds are a little slow on that transition. Right?
Yeah,
they still not.
They got to pick it up that one.
We're not where the speed where we've seen their where they are normally. Forget DC United. I'm talking any game this year.
Yes,
there's definitely a little bit of a hangover effect from Wednesday because they're not moving quickly.
Not sharp enough.
Yeah, I mean because they get their transition game going. They can really find some gaps and pick this team apart.
Okioma up to the midfield line. Rob Vincent head up to his running mate Kerr, back to Vincent, headed away by Gagnon Lapere. Kerr wanted the quick throw, A whole bunch of yelling going on down there. You can probably pick it up over the crowd mic that's hooked into the audio feed for the broadcast. Willie Hunt, strong challenge, won it back. And Kerr in a tight area, unable to pry it free, and no stoppage time. That's it. 45 minutes in the books, and the Riverhounds had some moments, but as you two gentlemen were just discussing, that same pep, that same zip isn't quite there from Wednesday night. You knew that was going to happen, and I guess if you look at it from the positive side, no goals conceded and really no chances conceded either.
No. I think obviously the Hounds have had the better of the chances, Gino. I think Montreal, I've seen maybe 2-3 shots that looked like they were even on target, but really, like we've just been discussing, and I'm sure Gino will say it, Mark's got to get them sharpened up and be much quicker to the ball and quicker and crisper passes to each other.
Yeah, I really think it's all about speed of play right now from both sides. The elements have something to do with that, but both teams are, the Riverhounds are experienced enough. This is not going to impact their game, and they just have to really get re-energized a little bit, get a little bit quicker into transition, because there are certainly plenty of spaces that they can exploit. The only thing that we have done consistently well is the usual Vincent to Kerr diagonal ball connection, which we've seen Kevin get in. But there's plenty of other spots, and we need. And Paul, I think we need more to offer from Drew Russell and Mike Green up top.
Definitely, Gina. They got to show themselves, and they got to make these diagonal runs too, and through those, looking for that ball slotted between two defenders that they're not really doing. They're kind of like waiting for each other to do it, or looking at each other, but not really doing anything about it.
As we talked about in pregame, with the two up front, that should create a little bit more opportunities for the midfield to find those lanes, get some connections, get some people off the ball. Definitely. And really, that hasn't happened.
No.
Before we take a break, let's look at the first half highlights as the Riverhounds regroup. Same with FC Montreal. Actually, we'll get to that in just 1 second. A reminder, next week the Riverhounds will be on the road at Rochester Rhinos. That'll be a real challenge. But back home for July 4th. Make sure you're here for that matchup against New York Red Bulls, too. Now here we go with the first half highlights. And an early opportunity. Kerr, something out of nothing. A hard drive, testing the Montreal keeper, Maxim Crepeau.
I think most of these highlights are going to come from Kevin Kerr.
Here was the one bit of nervousness from the Hounds, and Callie Brown seemingly saying that ball got away from him.
Yeah, definitely.
On the slippery surface.
Definitely went a little bit too far away from him when he was concerned. That play really closed him down quick. There is a great opportunity.
Yeah, another one, well defended from Montreal, just to get back on Kerr in a nick of time.
Another trend. Kevin Kerr is involved in most of the good things that happen for the Hounds' attack. But here's Max Talute, a starting opportunity. That one rolls a bit too far for him. He's been on that left flank.
This will be Robbie to
This will be
Kerr.
the long shot.
Robbie to Kerr, I think. Yep.
Great ball.
Kerr had an edge here and got all of it.
Yep.
Just missed it.
Just needed to get around that ball with the outside of his right foot, kind of get that thing to bend back into the near post, far post. Sorry. I think this is Vincent's.
The same. Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. That's same. Another one.
Same play, different angle.
Yeah.
As you talked about, he was attempting to plug it inside that far post with a little bit of side spin, but didn't get a lot of spin on that one. More of a straight ball. Here's Vincent.
Great 1-2.
On the 1-2, yes, with Green and another.
And as we said again, anytime Robbie has a look, it's on target.
And again,
that's a position we were talking about, Paul, right there, where he gets inside that guy, steps inside him, and
sure.
And the keeper does very well.
But the other thing, when he's shooting, Gino, we got to follow up on these shots with this surface and the way the ball's wet. It's going to bounce back out. We kind of like Russell and Green kind of looked at Robbie, knowing he was going to take the shot. But once he does that, they've got to be turning and going towards the keeper, looking for any kind of rebound and just a tap in.
Yeah. So there you have it. Plenty of shots, actually quite a few opportunities for the Hounds, but still some room for improvement in the second half, as we talked about. Matt Geico with Paul Child and Gene Klein. We shall return for the second half of action as the Rolling Stones play over the sound system. They're also playing across town at Heinz Field.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they warming up here at Highmark Stadium or what?
Some gimme shelter. We could use some shelter, I guess, this evening. We're lucky to be inside. Yeah. Glad you are, too, with us here on YouTube. We'll return for the second half.
U10s for participating again in the mini light match. Again, thank you, Hopewell U10s.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. Hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold it back. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, bring me down.
How about we cut some fat from the system? How about we lose the hot air and secondhand smoke? Let's give everyone a great choice of doctors and remember we're our own primary care providers. Let's build better plans and pick up some better habits along the way. It's time to be the change we want to see in healthcare and the change we want to see in ourselves. Let's do it all for health. Highmark, Blue Cross, Blue Shield.
This hit that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh. 0-0 at the half. Riverhounds and FC Montreal. I'm Matt Geico with Paul Child and Gene Klein as we await the second 45 minutes. Gentlemen, every stat I'm looking at on my sheet favors the Hounds, so there is quite a bit that we could talk about on the positive side. We also discussed some things they could do better, but overall, on a wet night like tonight, we talked about the chance for a letdown, and Gene, I'll start with you. Any kind of adjustments you would make tactically? We talked about intensity and that type of thing, and that being a challenge, but tactically, did you like what you saw from the Hounds in the first half?
No, I think we were just a little bit too slow with our speed of play. We were too slow coming from the back. I think they had plenty of opportunities to look forward. I think that it has nothing to do with the system or the players. They just have to have some better movement off the ball. What the strength of a Mark Steffen's team has been is really, I think, from what we have seen this year, is the way that these guys have moved off the ball and got into spaces. And Paul, we haven't seen that tonight.
No, we really haven't. It's been straight up and down instead of in diagonal runs, and I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't. I think he's going to make some changes within the first 10 minutes if things
I'm surprised he didn't make any changes at halftime.
Yeah, really, because I think that he could put three guys in right now that may be the spark that they need, Matt, to kind of liven them up and get to goal and get some more shots on goal.
Yeah, you have guys like Mira Chabrillo, Tyler Pasher could certainly come in and do something. Vinny Dantas, Ceci DeBach in the midfield could pick up the pace a little bit. So.
A lot of opportunities for different guys to get in there, and I think I'm sure he's going to give him 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's probably told him you guys got 10, 15 minutes or whatever, and then we'll see, and then we'll make some changes. So we'll look to pick that up, but for sure they have to be disappointed with that half, and
not to get a goal.
And
at
I
least.
think from the side of Montreal, they're quite content with 0-0. They get out here 0-0, they're gonna get on that Montreal impact bus when we saw parked outside and be happy.
That's exactly the result that Montreal got last week at Richmond, 0-0, and halfway to that similar situation, but the Hounds will try to stop that as they possess it for the start of the second half. Riverhounds in their traditional home golds with the white and black trim. As here's Kevin Kerr, 5 shots in the first half. He goes for 6, and this one bends awry of the top right corner. So 6 out of the Riverhounds' 8 shots have been taken by number 10, Kevin Kerr. Flunder and Vincent had 1 apiece in the first half. 4 of the Hounds' shots were on target. Keeper Maxim Crepeau made 4 saves for Montreal. Callie Brown has not been tested yet. Corner kicks in favor of the Riverhounds 2, 5-0. 40 seconds into this second half. That's Stephen Okai elevating, looking for a foul call. He is not going to get it here.
No, the referee was pointing the wrong way and then decided to give it back to Montreal. I thought that was wrong, but...
So here are the boys in blue. FC Montreal, the feeder club to Montreal Impact. Stripping it away is Willie Hunt. Hunt has it taken away from him, though, as we exchange possession a handful of times to start this second half of play. Flunder popped it upfield. Sliding down was Fabio Morelli. Now Flunder chasing after it. He and Charbonneau slide in. Charbonneau wants the call on the throw-in, and he will get it.
And I think the one thing that we would love to see, and that certainly the coaching staff probably emphasized at halftime, is let's get an early one here. And we've seen that in other games where the Hounds have gone in at halftime either even or down a goal, and they've been able to really pick it up at the start of the second half. Mark's made some adjustments and said a few choice words, I'm sure, and they're back into the game. So they need to do that, because this is one of those games
they could slip away from you. That should be
slip
taken.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, Montreal, really hasn't done much, and then all it takes is that one big mistake or something like that, and you don't want that to happen.
The Riverhounds have lost just once in league play here. They're 3-1-3 at Highmark Stadium. The lone defeat coming to the Rochester Rhinos early on this season, and well, nothing to feel terribly about, because Rochester has not lost a league match all season long at 8-0-5. That'll be the Hounds' opponent next week. But a couple of those ties the Riverhounds thought they had at least 3 points. As they give it up there in the attacking third, and Montreal can come on back with it.
Yeah, Drew Russell's got to be more patient there and make a better pass. We've got to
just bring somebody into the game.
Yeah,
there.
just lay it back to somebody and just instead of giving it away again. Here's a ball that's going to be perfect, right to Kerr.
And there we go.
Good touch by Vincent to Kevin Kerr on the diagonal. We've seen that a few times. Kerr slowing it down, picking his
great
way
stop.
through, and he couldn't drag it with him to the middle of the field.
You know what? We don't really. I like to see that, Gino, and I'm sure you do. It's just showing some intensity and wanting to get in there and get a goal. One of these are going to break in a minute.
But Paul, here's the thing for me. It has to be more than Rob Vincent and Kevin Kerr,
definitely.
because that's what those are the two that have connected. Those are the two that have got behind and created some opportunities, and we need a few others to start picking it up.
That was pretty blatantly off a hand. And Montreal nearly gets a chance out of it, and
referee missed that one and was looking right at it again. Yeah, Gino, like you say, it's got to be shared. So the players have got to do the business, and obviously we know Kerr and we know Vincent pretty well, and they put pressure on themselves when they don't get these chances going in goal. So they're even making it harder and maybe taking too many touches that they don't need to. So, like you say, you need everybody to pick it up a little bit and work for each other.
Oh, they absolutely do, and because all the balls and all the best opportunities have come off of their feet, really, and from their runs. I think the one we had Tillett went through that one time. The keeper came out and smothered the play, but
here's the header back to Charbonneau.
And the longer this goes, this gives Montreal a little bit more confidence
Exactly.
and gives them a little bit more energy.
They seem to have a bit of a pep, more so than late in the first half, for right now at the moment. But a very errant ball there from LaJoie Gravel.
Yeah, that was definitely a wasted pass, but
here's the throw into Kerr's feet. And Mark Steffens has talked about this recently. He wants to get more guys going besides Kerr and Vincent. Here's Drew Russell with an opportunity in the corner. Couldn't poke it by Tim Guia, but we do get a throw out of the situation for the Hounds. And who will handle it? Mike Green is stepping to.
So again,
we're having a hard time retrieving a ball.
Now this is not helping the tempo either. Let's get the ball in play.
If I was him, I would be going crazy and I'd be chasing the ball boy or somebody to get the ball back. You've got to have that, show that. You've got to want it.
That urgency, the throw.
Nice play.
Header across goal! And Vincent has denied his 10th goal in league play off that little half volley. In the area, corner kick. Riverhounds.
I think Greeny's had like 3, maybe 4 long throws. Every one to Drew Russell, and every time he's won a flick, and Montreal hasn't done anything with it. He comes off the near post every time. Of course, again, amazingly, Robbie Vincent, it's on target. It's on target.
Would have liked to have got it down a little bit more, Gino.
He just couldn't get over it, could he, Paul? Yeah.
Yes, you were right, Gene. That was Drew Russell again. Very good in the air. Using that height. It's played out to Kerr. First time drive. Misses again. And there's that same play that we have seen.
Yeah, we've seen that one too.
He didn't hesitate again. He just winds up and he cracks it.
And they're playing that, again, they play that corner. We've seen it a number of times. They've done that twice today where they have that roll back corner.
And the defenders don't realize
and they're not picking it up.
So here's Crepeau rolling it out to the far side, and Tim Guia
That's kind of
out into touch. Another sloppy turnover by FC Montreal.
That's the kind of stuff. That's why coaches get gray hair and lose hair, right? I mean, you're saying how many times are you going to see that play? Can you react to it?
Well, I know as a player, Gino, you were taught if somebody beats you on this left-hand side, or you see this guy going by you, make sure he doesn't do it again. And then if he's going to go anyway, he's got to go to the right side. Then you do it one more time, and then the third time is you got to win it, and he doesn't go by you.
And obviously on set pieces, as we see Richard Knighton go over there across the way next to Mike Green.
That'll be Green,
president of the.
And here we're going to see again, looking for Russell for a flick on, and there it is.
Russell elevating that throw is a little over his head.
Yep.
But the idea was the same once again. The Hounds without Danny Earls and Lebo Moloto tonight. That was Anthony Arena. Flunder got his foot around it. Knocked out by Charbonneau. Max Talute with the ball in hand. Another extra ball gets on the field. No, not the finest effort from the ball kids tonight.
Yeah,
hate to pick on them, but
no, you hate to pick on them. They're out there doing their best, but they.
I don't think that was a ball boy. I think somebody in the stands was holding on to it and then threw
oh, is
it
that
out.
right? Okay, well, I apologize to the ball kids then.
Yeah, he's busy sleeping over here.
The throw in toward Russell again, but this is off Russell's body.
We're only kidding about the ball, guys.
Yes.
No, they do a great job. And like you say, there's one on that side and one on this. They didn't turn out tonight because the weather's bad. Oh, we got two over
so
there.
So they're working double duty.
Yeah,
that's what's
really
happening there. They have to cover twice as much ground as the assistant referees who just have the half field. So there you go. Flunder.
Oh.
Getting on the end of it. Russell turned. Yanked down. Free kick Pittsburgh.
I'd like to see him pick the pace up right now, Gino. We're taking
we're taking
too much
along the
time.
throw-ins on the free kicks. We're taking forever.
Yeah.
Montreal can sit back. As we talked in the first half, Paul, where we really saw that weakness of Montreal is they were really disorganized on any transition.
Yep.
And everything should be quick. I'd be like telling those guys, pick up the pace of the tempo, put that ball down, let's play it right away.
Well, I'd be on the sideline like you would, be screaming and yelling at them actually. Hey, we've got to liven this game up, get stuck in and make it very difficult for Montreal to get out. We're just not doing it yet, and it's got to come soon.
Flunder on the duel there with Lajoie Gravel, that is. Lajoie Gravel played in the French League recently. One of a couple of players who didn't come all the way up through the Impact Academy and then get promoted directly to this club. Many of these players on Montreal were in the PDL with Impact U23 last season. Kerr tried to get it in quickly and mishandled that throw-in.
Yeah, and it's a big transition going from PDL to USL, and you can see that they struggle a little bit with some of that. Plus the fact that they use so many players has to be very difficult.
Very hard,
for their
yeah,
coaches.
Jim. That's a nice touch by Russell.
Look at Russell dancing around the pressure as it tackled away. And Kevin Kerr is looking back to Fujiro Okiyama and waving him up into the box.
Yeah, get in there and let's get somebody else in there with different.
Yeah, they only have one up. Get some people into the box. I mean,
another set piece situation, if you will, off the
I would
throw.
be shocked if this goes to Drew Russell. Yeah,
he was
a little bit short.
Charging toward it that time. That is actually Okiyama who was seeking it out, but he knocked over one of the Montreal defenders, and the foul is called there.
All these throws. That's going to take its toll on Michael Green. I mean, that's he has to get over there. He has to heave that thing, and they're going for.
Yeah, we chuckle about it, but that is some extra wear and tear for you.
No, it really is.
He is playing forward today as opposed to his usual back spot. I shouldn't say usual with Mike Green because you never quite know where he's going to turn up.
Right.
He's able to handle most of it. Kerr, a little bit of a high press and forced a bad play from Shakib Osin. Flunder dribbling it like a basketball. Heaves it in. It's over the head of Drew Russell. One more try as the ball ends up on the roof of the Montreal bench, the canopy that's put up there to protect players and coaches from the rain and the sun in other types of situations. Sun's not a worry tonight, though the rain does appear to have mostly stopped. Will this ball be out for a throw? Yes.
The referee really got that one wrong. He hit Michael Green right in the face and went out. and he's standing right there and missed it again. At least he's.
Looks like I see Pasha coming up towards the bench, so
good.
hopefully we're gonna see Tyler. That would be a much needed spark.
He'll caffeinate this game if he gets in. That is, I thought it was off a Montreal head last, but no.
I think it missed everybody, Matt.
Yeah, just sailed over the top.
You know what tends to happen too, Gino, and I know we've seen it when we've coached, and I know when I played. Sometimes when you're playing against a team that's real lethargic and really
come down to that level,
you really
don't
come down to that level sometimes, Matt. You know, you just kind of, we've got to kind of get a sense of that. We got it made. We'll get a goal sometime. Something will happen, and then all of a sudden, you get a mistake in the back, or a missed kick, or something, and you get scored on, and then it's an uphill battle. This is where we've got to go at them.
Okai pushing the pace. Stephen Okai to Kerr. Is this the opportunity? Kerr back across. Corner kick one.
Well played by Montreal to recover on that one.
Yeah, that was a great.
But that's again, that's a little bit more like it. I mean, within the transition and really going at him at speed.
Gagnon Lapere knocking it into touch, but the Hounds have corner number 7.
Yeah, Lapere came a long way for that one, so you got to credit him.
Vincent blows it over everyone's head, unfortunately, there for the Riverhounds.
Would have hit that one with his left foot, actually. I would like to have seen him take a shot on goal with that.
There's the whistle and substitution time for the Hounds, as we were just talking about. Tyler Pasher.
Oh, so they're going to put Pasher in the midfield, it looks like, because Toulette's coming out.
Toulette out, Pasher in.
Maybe pushing him up, Jamie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course, they're going to push him up a little bit, and because they're going to keep, Flunder's going to stay in the game. Because we had talked about that on Wednesday with DC United when Tyler was coming in the game, where they put him, we see him in the midfield. But Sterling had not played a lot, so it was a wise substitution.
Yeah,
to only play him about 70
back,
minutes. But I think we're really, I'm sure that Mark took the reins off Tyler and just said, "Go, baby,"
Yeah.
So Pasher will try to do just that and go and get the Hounds going this evening. We are almost an hour in. No goals on the board for either side. Montreal didn't score in its previous match either. The Hounds had one against DC United on Wednesday in U.S. Open Cup. They had one at Charlotte last week. So this high-scoring Riverhounds unit now on the verge of giving this one away, but there's Arena to save it
from Arena
and poke it directly to Sterling Flunder. Pasher, first touch on the ball. He's trying to create something as we welcome team captain Danny Earls into the broadcast booth.
How you doing, fellas?
Danny, good to see you.
You too.
We need your spark out there tonight.
Well, no, it's coming. It's coming, to be fair. The lads look good.
Yeah.
First half I think we dominated, so hopefully it's coming here soon.
Well, we thought, Danny, the first half a little bit slow with the speed of play. They needed to pick it up a little bit more. There were a lot of gaps there in Montreal's team. What did they say at halftime? How did the adjustments go? Did they feel that we were where we needed to be, or just want to make a couple big changes?
I think obviously Wednesday's game had a big part to play in that. The lads' legs were quite tired, but I think we dominated the game. We created a good few chances. We definitely. Here's a chance here, maybe.
Morelli
good tackle.
Couldn't chip it toward goal. That'll be a corner kick, I think. Yes, it will be corner, not a foul. As Arena has his palms turned up, he's talking to the assistant referee.
He's not going to book him. I hope it's just like a few words. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good tackle, I think, Ray.
Yeah,
good decision.
Good decision.
The manager obviously, he obviously picked out some things we need to do better, maybe get some more crosses in the box, get some more runners in behind, but I think we're going to do it at this half. Obviously brought Pasher on now, so hopefully he can bring a bit of energy for us.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying here with Tyler Pasher coming to the game. You need get his wheels into the game, and I'm sure they probably said, Tyler, just start flying at him, right?
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's young, he's got the legs, so he's pacey, he can get in behind, he's got a good delivery, so hopefully he can do that.
No corner, it is a free kick. Belganduz, the captain, driving it low. Kerr got the back of his foot on it. It's up into the atmosphere. Still in some trouble, and oh my, a miss from Victor Da from 8 yards out. He pops it well over the crossbar.
Danny, how tough was it? Paul and I were sitting there talking a lot about it in the early parts of the game. That it is a bit of a trap game, you're, with all the high of DC United coming in and terrific atmosphere. Now we come here, it's raining, it's the crowd's not where it was on Wednesday. You're a little bit legless from a very, very tough game and a tough past 8 days, right? So how tough is it for the guys to get ready for that one? You got to really push through it, don't you?
Yeah, listen, I think we have a great bunch of lads here. You know what I mean? We're all experienced. At the end of the day, it's your livelihood. You know what I mean? This is this is your bread and butter. You know what I mean? I think to not be motivated, it's a shame. You know what I mean? You can't have that. So I think, like I said, we got a good bunch of experienced lads here.
Tracking back Okayoma. DA, another chance off the post. Oh my, and Okayoma clears it out. A bouncing ball settled down for Victor DA, and he had the whole net to shoot at, it appeared. He tried the left side and just missed. Here's the replay.
This is exactly what we were talking about, Matt, earlier.
Oh, Paul, you're back now.
Yeah, we switched headsets, so we're back down. But we were talking about this. This is where you kind of come down to the other team's level and you start thinking it's easy, and then all of a sudden you get a chance like that and it goes in the back of the net, and then it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, no, definitely you're right. I think you're right. But I was just saying, I think we have got the lads in the mindset to get through this game, hopefully with a win, you know.
Here's the cross. Patcher's there, and a save. What a stop by Maxim Crepeau, his best of the evening for sure.
And that's what we wanted Pasha to do coming into this game. What a great opportunity. And he did the right thing. I don't think he tried to kill it. He just tried to set that ball right inside the inside of the post.
Absolutely, yeah. I think if you're telling a young kid, if you're teaching a young kid this is the right thing to do, yeah, it's perfect technique.
Kerr's cross.
Yeah, exactly. A little side foot. It's a great save by the keeper. He gets down. He gets down well. But yeah, no, I think
Vincent drives it too hard there, and that'll actually be a throw all the way across the field. That's the second one that Vincent has gotten too much on from that near corner. Kind of rare to see him misfire.
We've only had one substitution so far, and I'm thinking that in the next 5 minutes or so, I would imagine if we haven't got a goal, Mark will be putting in some more fresh legs to try and get that spark, because we've seen Russell kind of like lumbering a little bit, and Greeny's actually makes a nice effort there and tries to close the players down. Obviously we miss you out there because you do that automatically, and everybody else picks up on that usually.
Yeah, definitely you need players out there to set the tempo. I think the likes of Robbo and Kevo can do that for us, you know. But yeah, definitely I think we'll see some changes coming up here now. I think we'll probably use all 5 changes tonight. Lads are probably feeling a bit leggy, so
yeah.
There's a good battle at the edge of the 18, but won by Montreal eventually. Another run up field. Suddenly the visitors are getting frisky in the attacking third. No call there in the box. And Philip Ulafroy and his assistant Simon Gaddy were both gesturing for a penalty kick, but they're not going to get it from Charles Murphy, the man in charge.
I think we were a little bit lucky there that the player grabbed on Flanders' shirt at the end there, and it looked like he was the culprit. But
to be fair, I think he was playing for that. To be fair, ref's done well there. I think it's going to be hard to beat Sterling 1v1. I'll tell you that.
Uses his body well. Always seems to have that gap closed off in those tough situations. Russell off his foot. Mike Green chips it all the way across. On the line to Kevin Kerr.
That's a nice
into the box,
ball.
Russell, and his header is errant.
He definitely wants that one back, I think, don't you? You could have hopefully got over it a little bit more, or even flicked it on again for the far post, and maybe somebody had got on the end of it.
Yeah, we take a look at the replay. Yeah, that's something we talked about. Well, the lads talked about at half-time. Get the ball to Kev. It's a great ball as well. Yeah.
And Drew Russell's really been a target, hasn't he, in this game? We've been commenting on the number of throws that have gone to his head.
Such a big lad. He's a problem for any team, I think.
Arena. Diagonal for
That's
Kerr.
a great breakaway.
Getting around Zoué. Kevin Kerr tried that cross, and it's blocked out. Corner kick number 9.
Law of averages. If we keep getting them, we've got to get a goal.
I was going to say
that way anyway.
Substitution number 2 for Montreal. This will be Zachary Segunda. And we'll find out in a moment who he is replacing.
Montreal substitution number 73, Zachary Segunda.
67th minute sub.
Matt, I think Danny's usually good at. We were talking about that, Gino and I, earlier. You know, this is usually your free kick or a corner kick, and you whip those balls in and bend in, kind of in towards the goal, and make it very difficult for a keeper.
Yeah, hopefully Pash can do something with it here. Yeah.
Another one, too much.
Yes, to be
gusto.
fair, and to be fair to the boys, it's tough to judge in this weather. You know, you don't know whether to take a bit off it, put a bit more on it. You know what I mean? And with the weather, it's tough. With the rain, you don't know how it's going to come off your boot. But yeah, that's the last 3. Maybe do a little bit better, but if you keep on getting those chances, it's bound to come sooner rather than later.
Good job.
The sky is finally clearing, by the way. We may get some waning sunlight here at the end, but here's a through ball, and it's La Joie Gravel. The cross, no one home. Hunt almost got a foot to it. Now Willie Hunt blocks this volley drive from Nazim Belgadouz. All the way down onto the train tracks it goes, throw in for the visitors.
I think Montreal's been in our end more this half than totally the first half, and getting some chances as well. And we've got to make sure that we don't slip up here and give them an opportunity for a goal.
Play is opening up, it seems like, for both sides, really. Foul on Mike Green.
Yeah, I genuinely think apart from that chance to hit the post, it's been pretty much one-way traffic. You know, they're getting behind every now and again, but it's been one-way traffic. It's going to happen when we're pushing up trying to get a goal, you know.
Yeah.
Danny, what was that experience like on Wednesday to play in front of that crowd here at Highmark Stadium? That had to have been just totally insane, and we were marveling at how much the crowd was into every moment of that one against DC.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was incredible. You know, so you want to be a footballer for it, to play in front of crowds like that, you know. I felt like the whole city was behind us. It's unfortunate we couldn't get the result, but if we keep on pushing up and climbing up the table the next half of the season, you know, hopefully we can get bigger crowds like that in and hopefully make playoffs and have it a regular thing.
That's the thing, as Miro Chabrillo checks in for Sterling Flunder. So the Hounds definitely pressing forward for that goal. Chabrillo in. Of course, Pasher can backtrack and play that back spot. Montreal tries to send it ahead. And it's at the feet of Miro Chabrillo.
And that's what we got to see, I think, more matter of getting that ball in. And here's a big
Montreal
guy
player
in the box.
falls down. Vincent Tucker into the corner.
And there's
across
Miro.
Chabrillo. Couldn't get his head on it. And leaping to catch, Maxim Crepeau.
Got to bear with him a little bit there. He's just got into the game, and he's trying to get a feel for what's going on. That this was a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great chance. Yeah, he's still getting his bearings. I think he lost his footing on the ground a little bit, but Miro was top notch on Wednesday. I fancy him getting a goal here tonight, to be fair.
I thought it might have been his best game as a Hound. Pasher has an opening, and he drove that right through the legs of the defender. Keeper picked it up, though, Crepeau. Danny, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That's Danny Earls serving that red card suspension, so we don't like to see him off the field, but we thank him for stopping by and lending some expertise. 71st minute.
Good to hear from Danny Earls, but we miss him on the field tonight, Paul.
Oh, definitely. As I said, you know, we miss his intensity, Gino, more than anything, because once he starts buzzing around, winning balls, here's a great opportunity.
Russell with Kerr, back against the grain. Kevin Kerr's got a look. He's going to cross it, but too far.
Russell will have a go there.
Luckily, Chabrillo running on. Oh, but he doesn't get the call on the throw-in. The flag points in the direction of the Pittsburgh goal
maybe
instead.
A little, you know, Robbie Vincent's having to go there. Danny Earls was having to go there. I mean, Drew has to have a little bit more confidence that, you know, it's not a bad ball to Kevin Kerr, but he has a lane looking for the goal.
Well, he could have faked that pass to Kerr, and the player would have stepped that way, and he was on his way to the goal.
He had an alley right there.
But again, you see Kerr, and he kind of like that was a tweener pass too, Gino. You know, it was not good, not bad. He didn't know where he was going to try and put it.
Paul, it's just interesting move when they brought on Miro.
DA is open, right wing. Green closing him out. DA, a little shifty here. He's surrounded. What's he going to do? Into the middle and sliding in to knock it away was Arena briefly, and here's Willie Hunt finishing it off. Off the scoreboard it goes.
But I was wondering for a second when Miro came on and he subbed for with Sterling Flunder, would Tyler Pasher move back to left back, and maybe we might see Greeny in the middle, or there's a third forward or something like that. But instead they're sticking with a 4-4-2, and they put Mike Green back to left back. So he's going from forward back to left back.
Oh, what a great run there. Stick one in.
Russell, the drive, and it's blocked. It's off the body of Gagnon Lepere.
So I got to think, he's pretty much stayed with that 4-4-2, and we're seeing
Russell,
Hounds really
good
picking
fight
up now.
there to win the ball
He
back.
did win it.
Kerr across. Chabrillo was bumped a bit, but no harm, no foul on that call, says Charles Murphy, the referee. And Crapo.
And
Pops
Zivanovic
it back
it looks
upfield.
like he's going to come into the game, and I got to think we would see him for Stephen Akai to get another more attacking presence in the midfield.
Oh, great run there, but
73rd minute, Pasher skipping one in.
boy.
Pasher has certainly made the impact that we thought he would.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he took 3 guys on there. You knew when he hit the ball he could catch it. The only problem is that last touch, Gino. He's got to think of getting that ball back to the penalty spot where somebody's probably making a late run in and get a nice side footer into the back of the net.
The flick from Russell. Kerr.
This is a corner kick. I think
1v1 with Segunda. Yes, it is the corner. Number 10, and Kerr wants to take it fast, and he is not allowed to, as, well, the substitution is waiting. Boris Zivanovic, Serbian midfielder out of the Hungarian league most recently.
It's going to be Drew Russell.
Drew Russell is out after some moments of life here, especially late in his time on the field. Russell out, Zivanovic in the 74th.
Drew Russell, the last couple of touches looked like he was getting closer and closer to the goal, and Mark decides to bring him out. I mean, I'm sure he's pretty tired. He's not been a regular in the team, so.
This will be Kerr handling the corner. Is this the one?
There's another substitute. I think they're going to substitute him, yeah. Oh, and they're wasting time now.
Yes, this is the world's slowest substitution in progress, I believe. As Belganduz is coming off, the man wearing the captain's armband for Montreal will be replaced by Marco Leonel Dominguez Ramirez.
That was a mouthful.
We've had 3 names all along. Now we have a 4-name lad in the game.
Is he Brazilian?
Kerr, oh my, Arena was running free, but punched away. Vincent, not a good bounce, but he's able to handle it and play it off back to Kerr. Once more, off the post and off the keeper, and a whistle.
Boy.
Offside? Flag is up.
Yeah, there is a flag, and it is offside.
Well, we got to see that one again. That is like a pinball machine.
Pinball wizard.
You got it.
The Who aren't playing in town tonight, but maybe they should be after that. What chaos around the goal, as it appeared that the Hounds had broken through. It was Vincent back out to Kerr, served it right back into the mix.
Great header off the post, hit the keeper.
The header by Willie Hunt.
It comes off the post and it came
it's
back
offside.
to Arena, and that was the offside of these calls.
Yes, that's exactly it. Everything resets after that. Willie Hunt, that close to his first Pittsburgh goal. Foul against Montreal.
Good job. Quick one. I like it.
That's more like it. That's what we've been talking about.
You got to make
Pasher, run at him.
Pasher.
Nice ball back.
The open
Robbie
man is
Vincent.
Rob Vincent.
Oh.
The errant drive came right to the foot of Chabrillo, and he nearly had an opportunity.
Now we've picked up the intensity.
Okay, yes, something seemingly has changed in the last 5 minutes or so.
Oh, and now somebody's gone
The
down
Hounds
in
are all
the
over. And
field
I think
again.
that's the same player who was down in
Yeah, that was the
midfield.
center back that had the collision with Miro Chabrillo.
Shakib Oseen.
And I haven't seen the substitutions, Matt. I mean, they're pretty close to the limit, aren't they?
I think they've had 4.
I just count 2 for Montreal so far.
Okay.
Masudi into the game, as was Segunda. Pardon me, 3 with Dominguez Ramirez.
Okay.
So there's 3
So
for
there's
them.
3 in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just they do have another field player they can put in, and
Yeah,
usually
they
they
got
want
2
to
more
keep the
guys in.
goalkeeper. So because you have 5 substitutions.
One bit of interest from the pregame I didn't get to mention, but the leading scorer for this Montreal team is Alessandro Rigi. He has 3 goals. He's played in the Italian and the Spanish leagues and has been quite good for this squad. He's been on the bench all day. He is available, so I don't know if they're waiting on him, if he's maybe a little banged up. On your screen right now, as we have this opportunity, as we mentioned, at Rochester.
He's in the game. That's 49. He just went in.
Okay, so he has checked in.
Yeah.
So Rigi is in.
Now that
Hounds home on the 4th of July for New York Red Bulls 2. That's your next opportunity. Visit riverhounds.com for more info on the schedule. Still not even halfway through the USL season. as this is game number 13.
Oh, man, that's a foul.
Pasher
That's
is sandwiched
That's a sandwich.
between Rigi and Dominguez.
That was a cheese sandwich because he's in yellow and a.
I get it. Yep. Not bad.
That's
grilled
pretty,
cheese.
That's a pretty cheesy comment, man.
I thought you were going to make some Canadian comment because he's from Ontario, but
No.
an Ontarian between a couple of guys from, well, at least FC Montreal.
That's a
At
long
any
one.
rate, the
If they were from Green Bay, you'd really been on
restart
target with that comment. Yeah.
yes, he would have. Out wide.
Great
Here
ball.
comes the cross. It's away from Chabrilo. Vincent knocked it down legally. Rob Vincent off a leg.
Oh, another one.
Right back for a shot.
There it is.
Score! There it is. And it's Kevin Kerr, the man who deserves it tonight. And the Sharif don't like it, but Kevin Kerr rocks the Casbah.
Oh,
1-0. Finally, the Hounds break through.
Boy, I guess who took the shot and it went from?
Yeah,
Vincent.
Robbie
Vincent
It's
to
a
Kerr.
It's Vincent and Kerr again.
These are like the Siamese twins, aren't they? Really?
Yeah,
You gotta
really.
look at them. They're
So cute.
joined at the hips, and look at this.
Here's the replay. The initial cross knotted out, but Vincent just barely avoiding
You knew he was
touching it with his
Kerr
hand, and he kept it.
Got a rebound and
Kerr ever
Well struck,
so
kept his head
calmly.
down, right over the ball. He struck right through the ball. And again, but watch Kevin's technique there. Yeah, follows all the way through.
Inside the left post,
Yeah.
and he shoots that bow and arrow. We haven't seen it in a couple of weeks.
great for him. It
But his
deserved
sixth
it.
goal.
He's been battling away, trying to get that one on target and make it work, and he definitely did with that shot. But you felt it coming, Gino. In the
No.
last 5 or 10 minutes, it's like he made those changes, and we got some spark, and it definitely worked.
The intensity turned up somewhere around the 70th minute, I want to say. The Riverhounds sensed the urgency to get the full 3 points here tonight.
And we definitely needed those as well, and hopefully we can get them. It's
Still
game's
10
not
minutes.
over yet, but we definitely need those 3 points, Gino.
Yeah, I mean, a few scary moments there about 15, 20 minutes ago with Montreal having their best chances and opportunities, but we were able to dodge that, stay in the game, and definitely a different energy level once they started making some substitutions, Paul.
Yeah, clearly.
And this is more of the pace and the tempo that I think the Riverhounds want to
free
play
kick.
at.
Foul called. Zivanovic earned that. Zivanovic was the player who initially crossed that ball that led to the scramble around the goal and eventually the Kerr goal. Once again, Kevin Kerr, his 6th of the season in the 79th minute, has the Hounds ahead. Their noses are ahead just a bit, but a second one would really alleviate the pressure.
And
It's
I think they
Kerr on
definitely
the free
can
kick.
find that second one.
Kerr get into the mix. Punching it clear, Crepeau. And Vincent pops it all the way back to his keeper, Callie Brown, who hasn't seen much action lately. Had that shot go off the post.
Oh, well taken there, Mira.
Chabrilo, very soft collection of that ball. Exactly.
And again, Kerr to Vincent.
Those two in close proximity. Zivanovic sprays it out wide to Kerr. Kevin Kerr, the Scotsman. Some fancy footwork and lays it over to the uncovered for a moment Zivanovic. He doesn't get this call, though. He had one in a similar spot just a minute earlier, but still tenaciously on the ball. Still up for grabs, but emerging with it, FC Montreal. It's off the boot of Gagnon Laparé. Rigi, the dangerous one, has that headed away from him by Mike Green,
well
playing the
done
back
there,
position.
Pasher. Got a
Pasher
nice
again.
little- Oh,
Lead
yes.
ball. It's loose at the feet of Kerr, and he has it. Kevin Kerr being urged on by the crowd here at Highmark. Lays
Good
it to
cross.
Pasher. Here's the cross. Chabrilo was over in the area. Rob Vincent read it well to take possession and a throw in Hounds.
Yeah, he tried to fake the defender out there, but the ball skidded on the turf and got a little bit too far away from him, but he battled back and got the throw in.
Montreal substitution.
Substitution for Montreal.
In for number 28, Jeremy Gagnon-Lapierre.
Gagnon Laperre is out. Charles Jolly is in, the forward. Substitution number 5 for the visitors. So that'll be it. In the 83rd minute, the Hounds working with a 1-0 advantage on another Kevin Kerr strike. Stick with what's working, I guess. Kerr and Vincent.
Corner kick. That's looked like that was a set play there.
Corner number 11. Montreal has 0 corners in this match. They thought they had one earlier to our right, but it ended up being a foul called against the Hounds. But nevertheless, not too many opportunities for the visitors to send in any crosses. Here are the Hounds now looking for number 2. This one's too far. Chabrillo had to peek over his shoulder, couldn't find it, and out it rolls.
That was a strange one, Gino. Everybody went to the near post instead of somebody staying out wide. It didn't think he was going to be able to. Anybody was going to be able to get on that one.
I still want to see Robbie Vincent cut it back to Kevin Kerr and have a shot at the top of the D. You know.
Yeah.
And an animated conversation between Charles Murphy and Rob Vincent, and now Kerr comes in to pat Murphy on the back. Murphy appeared to say, "It's on me." One of those things you never quite know what happened, and a flubbed throw.
No, the referee grabbed his arm.
Oh, is that what happened down there?
The fourth official.
I missed that.
Yeah.
That was Charbonneau. I thought he just whiffed on the throw. Could happen with a wet ball.
I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, I've never seen that one before.
I haven't seen that one before. Yeah.
Upfield, Zivanovic, a spirited rise for the ball. He is spun around, and he ends up flat on the turf.
Oh, good tackle there.
Okai, but only could hold up the attack briefly. So Montreal presses for the equalizer. Can they shift into attack mode? It's going to be tough at this stage of the contest. They do have some fresh legs in. But when you're absorbing so much pressure, you do have to shift gears after you allow one.
And you can see they've really, I think they're playing just with 3 in the back right now, Gino, and pushing everybody up.
Yeah, they're trying to go for it. That's why, as we said earlier, I really think the second goal.
Running on is Chabrillo. Miro Chabrillo, the keeper fell down. Oh, but Chabrillo didn't have an opportunity to put that one on net. If he could have just shot it on target, it probably would have gone in.
There's Pasher, nice
but it's Pasher back across the grain. Intercepted briefly, but there is Vincent working hard to win it. Okai in the middle of the field.
Once Tyler can start connecting with some of those serves, he will be lethal out there.
Zivanovic was muscled off by Zakaria Masudi.
Yeah,
the Moroccan-born player makes a strong move upfield. Okioma, the header. And foul on Pittsburgh. Willie Hunt can't believe it. He grabs the ball for a moment. Not the most physical contest in the world.
Yeah, they're pushing everybody up now. I mean, I would too. You know, they're just leaving one guy back and sending up all the 2 big guys.
Yeah, now it's time for the Riverhounds to. We've been talking about them speeding up the game and everything. Now it's time for them to manage the game.
Yep.
And maybe take the air out of the ball a little bit.
Okioma. Now Chabrillo to
done.
Vincent, juggling.
Well done from Vincent.
Come on, Miro, chase this down.
That's headed right in by Zachary Segunda to his keeper, Crepo. 4 minutes remaining in regulation time, and then perhaps a bit of added time tacked on. Can't imagine it'd be more than 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, before the goal, they had a couple of guys down, and they were wasting a lot of time too. So
it might be 2 or 3 then.
Yeah,
there's a chance for that.
I would say at least 3 with all the substitutions. So.
Oh yeah, good point. We have had quite a few of those. None in the first half as is usual, but all 5 have been used by Montreal. I see the blue and I think Canadian team, and Toronto just comes out. The Maple Leafs and the Blue Jays both wearing those shades. And then we had Toronto in here earlier in the year, and they wore red. The Hounds will see both of those teams on the same road trip earlier than you might think, just in a couple of weeks. They'll play those 2 squads. But here tonight, in the first ever meeting between these 2 teams, the Hounds have an opportunity to get all 3 points.
If they can hold on here, Matt, it's super important that they really close this game out.
Yeah, I want now's the time, and I'm watching a little bit in the back and in the midfield as we see Pasher taking off.
As he is wont to do. Pasher burrows into the corner there, and a very heady play by Pasher. It's a throw-in, but right at the corner.
But we see Anthony Arena barking a lot of orders, Paul, and I think he's just making sure that their lines are connected, that the midfield is connected, that Stephen Okai is in front of him,
and no players get drifted out of position.
And exactly, and they're all
drawn.
They're all in the position where they need to be, and just absorb anything and be safe.
Kerr thought he would be able to convince the official to give the corner. Not to be. And yes, managing the game is always a consideration at this point. And when do you notice shift from attack mode to managing and just trying to close it out? That's always the question, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, it is. It's just having, not taking silly giving the ball away too quickly, with long kicks and, not taking any chances unnecessary.
And reading the game in the situations. What's the time on the clock now? Okay, we haven't got the second goal. We're now entering the 90, coming up on the 90th minute. It's just let's just really slow it down and work it out. So they had those couple spurts where they were trying to get that second one, and I think wisely, because we thought we might get one. But now let's just kill it off.
Yeah, I'd like to see a long kick here over to Pasher on this left flank.
I think that's where he's going, Paul.
He is aiming that way.
It's going to hit
a little
Jabrio.
lower, but yes, it does find a hound.
That one dropped.
Montreal on the move. Oh,
well done from Tyler.
Shoulder-to-shoulder tackle, but he's overtaken a bit. That did take possession away, though, for Montreal just briefly. He bumped into Fabio Morelli and knocked him spinning. Jabrio and Pasher, and now Green facing up against Masuda.
I ran out of bounds.
And he was out, as he had visions of a cross, or a drop back, I should say.
Green did very well there.
Freshly in Charles Jolly.
Green did very well on that defense there. He got his body in between and just knew, again, that's the smartness of just knowing, let it go.
4 maybe?
We can't see the number of minutes up. Yes, we have 4, so you're correct. All those substitutions and a couple of players down due to some brief injuries. 4 minutes yet to navigate for the Hounds. They're not out of the woods yet. And, maybe in the back of their mind somewhere is the fact that they are seeking out that first league shutout. They're very close, but not all the way there. Jabrio. And the handball is called. The entire Hounds bench was up and asking for that one. And they got it. Dusk has fallen in Pittsburgh. The rain has stopped. And really rather pleasant conditions, I would imagine, to play now after 90 minutes. Ball poked away from Zivanovic, but Hunt steps up to take it. High cross, and Jabrio was wrapped up a bit in a bear hug for a moment, but the ball was too far away from him for him to have a reasonable opportunity to try to get the call. Look out here. Ball's loose in the box, and right there, to make sure anything didn't get through, was Anthony Arena. He ripped it out into the stands.
Yeah,
Montreal bench was up, but there was nothing. I didn't see anything there.
Just a jam up.
Yep.
There's a well-won ball by Jabrio. Running on was Dominguez Rodriguez, and yes, Kerr caps off that sequence by knocking it downfield. Oseen heads it in on his keeper, and Crepo wants to keep it upfield. Understandably so.
Handball,
yeah.
That looked like a handball, but that one is not called against DA. His cross. And a bit of a mishandle from Callie Brown, but he smothers the second chance.
But I like the way he made his mind up early and said, I'm coming out and getting that.
Yeah, he was in good starting position with that one. He was right in line with the cross and went through it. I think that the little fumble occurred. He wasn't sure whether or not he was going to run into a Riverhound defender.
Will Kelly Brown be the first Hounds keeper to get a clean sheet to his name? Just his third pro start, second in league action. Oh, Pasher trying to do a bit too much, and he thanks Anthony Arena after he slid in behind him.
Yeah, there's a little inexperience at Tyler Pasher there, isn't there?
Exactly.
You know, just
Yeah,
he had an opportunity to just knock that one out, and I think he's trying to turn with it, and he turned right into the attacking player.
Corner kick, Montreal. Dominguez Ramirez will
the
strike it.
goalkeeper's up here as well.
Up into the mix. Yes, there is Crapo right there at the penalty spot. But that's volleyed out of play by the visitors, and the Hounds get the goal kick. That may have been the best opportunity there.
Yeah, Montreal not giving up here. They're just still pounding away, and still probably about a minute or so left, I would imagine.
Seems about right. That's the one thing about it. You never quite know when that final whistle is going to sound. So you've got to keep that intensity up all the way. Brown, another 70-plus yarder upfield. That helps the Hounds' cause. Vincent's header, chested down almost by Chabrillo. Zivanovic, and now Vincent. And he'll waste some clock. Hoisting it up. Off the chest of Zagunda. And that should be Riverhounds' throw, I believe.
Yep.
And it will be. Charles Murphy, the referee, pointing to where he wants that throw in to occur. I think he actually wanted it further upfield, but the Hounds will be glad to take it. And it's Hunt to Vincent, and now Tyler Pasher.
Yeah,
and will he just run to the corner flag? He stalls it out, and that is it.
Okay.
That's it. The Hounds have their first league shutout as they grind out a 1-0 victory against FC Montreal this evening. And while Miro Chabrillo and a couple of the Montreal players are getting into it a bit, it appears that things are going to settle down. That's just outside the Montreal box, but most players shaking hands as the Hounds have all 3 points in this one, and they get back on the winning track here at home, improving to 4-1-3 in USL play against league opponents.
Yeah, that was a battle. That one.
was a battle.
You got to give the Hounds credit. They did very, very well. Created the most of the chances, I think. Really, Gino and.
They deserved it, Paul, didn't they? I mean,
I think so.
they completely outplayed them. They struggled a bit with the tempo, at least early on. Particularly the first half, it got better as we were hoping it would in the second half. And some of the substitutions that were made brought a new energy, brought some new legs. And, well-deserved win. Did dodge a bullet. Montreal had a couple of chances in the second half that could have been disastrous, but once they got past that, then, you just had a feel that the goal was going to come sooner or later.
Yeah, just the way we were just trying to keep on battering the goal with corner kicks, free kicks, every chance we got. We said, the law of averages, you're finally going to get one, and we did get one, and a good job we did, because that would have been a tough one to go down to Rochester next week with a loss.
A loss or even a draw would have been difficult.
Especially at home. You saw Tyler Pasher there on screen. He's from Ontario. Zachary Zagunda. They were exchanging pleasantries. You have to imagine Tyler knows quite a few of these players, both being from the same nation, of course. And like you said, Paul, I would definitely concur with that. It was just a matter of keep chopping at that tree, and eventually it falls down, I guess. Yeah. And that was the case for the Hounds this evening. They get that shutout. One shot off the post. I don't believe Kelly Brown actually had to make a single save tonight. I have to look at the official stats. So that's pretty solid stuff there. We were talking about the opportunity to show that this is a playoff team to bounce back from a difficult decision against DC United, and the Hounds do just that this evening. And they'll move on to Rochester, so yes, it does not get any easier after what we saw here tonight.
But at least they get a week off, and they can recuperate a little bit, get some of the injured players probably back on the field and ready for this game in Rochester next Saturday.
Yeah, so it's a good win. I mean, it's one of those wins that you take. I mean, you're not too worried about style play here. They're not getting any points for that, but it's a tough one. They had to battle through mentally, physically, and they were able to do that, and that's the growth of the team.
Exactly. And that only generates confidence and chemistry, really, with the guys.
Let's look at those highlights. So We can move on to the Rolling Stones concert later tonight. I think one of
my Cavs wave.
one of the people in the booth may have tickets to that. I'm not quite sure. Here we go. The cross to Drew Russell from Kerr. That's off the post. And the offside called after that. But that was at the moment when the Hounds were pushing forward. Pardon me, Willie Hunt, actually. Russell was out at that point.
Yeah, it was Willie Hunt that kind of was disgusted that the keeper saved it, but it was offside. So.
And there's Zivanovic making some room for himself. So that's an underrated part of the play.
Vincent, wow, great 360 there, and just perfect strike through the ball.
No mistake there from Kevin Kerr as he runs off to that corner flag. He's celebrated a few times toward that direction this year. He's just got to run after pumping one in, his 6th goal of the year. And that was all the Riverhounds needed. So we will see you in a couple of weeks here at Highmark Stadium, July the 4th against New York Red Bulls 2. That'll be our next broadcast here on Riverhounds.com. We thank you for watching this evening. We thank you for tuning in on YouTube.com/USL if you went that way. And yes, there is the upcoming schedule for the Hounds. I mentioned that Canada road trip at the end of the broadcast, and Louisville City FC back in for a second meeting with the Riverhounds on July the 18th. Visit riverhounds.com for more information on those. For Chris DeVivo and John Powell down in the truck, also Paul Child and Gene Klein with me here in the box, also Danny Earls too. Thanks to the team captain for stopping by, serving his red card suspension. I'm Matt Geika saying good night from Pittsburgh, PA.
Good night.
Good night.